need to sync it with you laughing, coughing, or a squeaky chair.
Yeah, I remember doing that before, but now for some reason I seem to have forgotten it. At least last week.
Yeah, it's just we're not laughing that much. I mean, we might like to think it, but we're not that funny. So I mean, just keep close to the mic and.
I think it seems like we think that we are that funny, but other people might not think that.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, we do a podcast for us three.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have to listen to this.
Yeah.
Everybody else does have a choice.
Would you listen to this out of your own free will if you weren't you?
Probably.
I think.
I do listen to some rubbish podcasts.
Let's not go there. I'm not sure we'd like the answer.
But I would enjoy a clone of our podcast with totally different people.
Yeah.
But the same random style.
Yeah, and then we could do like you do in kindergarten or preschool or something. You get like a friendship school in another county, in another country, and you do some exchange. And we can do that. We can have a friendship podcast.
What would it be called? Number 2 Perfect Perfection or something like that?
The
second to perfect. Yeah.
The second perfect successes.
Yeah.
I feel we are not too far off ourselves, actually.
Oh, that's stupid.
So, welcome to this week's episode of the No.1 Crude Mistakes podcast with Glenn from No.1 Projects, KJ from Crude But Efficient, and myself, Haavard, from Behind the Mistakes. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Don't be funny. Whatever you do, don't be funny.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Why? Do we have a laugh restriction? Did we laugh too much in the last episode?
Yeah, I'm doing the edit this week, and I don't like adjusting volumes in the middle. I just a simple normalizing and then leave it as be. Yeah.
So you just want a smooth night radio, velvet voice.
Nice short one as well.
I mean, it does seem that Haavard is on a short and sweet streak. I mean, with his latest videos. But like 5 minutes each.
I know.
Oh, it was so funny. I uploaded the first video and YouTube asked me a question I never got before. It seems like you are uploading a short. Would you like to? No.
Yeah, two videos out. One after another. What's going on?
I mean, it's I do several projects in parallel, and two of them just got finished at the same time, and I can't sit on footage. I'm not. We're not doing an along of any kind, so I just all right. The footage is done. Upload and get it out of my mind and focus on new stuff. So yeah.
So a Hellcorder update.
Hellcorder update. Yes. Yeah. Not sure if I'm not regretting that today.
Why should you?
I had a dream. That's the famous quote goes.
Right, Martin Luther.
Yeah. I had a dream tonight actually, and when I woke up, I'm like, God damn it, what have I done? And I have fallen deep into the rabbit hole of how to make bellows And of course, I've been looking into the paper bellows for the accordions. I mean, I could make a
yeah.
bellow myself, and then that is probably a YouTube video. And yes, it is. It's like there's a lot of people making accordions, and I realized that it's fairly straightforward, but it is like a craft and very labor intensive. So the thought that I have in my mind, it's relatively easy, but it's going to be extremely labor intensive and take a long time, and probably not going to work. So I'm
Sounds
feeling a bit.
worthwhile.
Yeah, content is content. So we'll see.
But you're after some kind of mechanical bellows that also looks good while they're pumping.
That's the problem though, because I am envisioning this steam pump, like moving motor and camshaft and everything, and I realized that there's a huge chance then it's gonna make a lot of noise unless I spend a ludicrous amount of money on a stepper motor. And it probably won't deliver enough airflow. And then I've been looking at some other bellows systems, like in the organs, which will also work fine, but it won't look as good. So there's should I make it look good, or should I make it into something that has a fighting chance of actually working as intended?
No, it's got to look good.
That's the problem though, because I can't shake that thought. So yeah, I'm fucked. So I'm gonna, yeah, I mean, one of the regular contributors commented on the video, and he actually said, instead of touching the Hellcorder as it is, why don't you just build a separate cabinet that it can stand on? Because I mean, they do that for huge amplifiers. They have several racks. So you have the amplifier module, and you have a separate cabinet underneath with additional speakers and whatnot. And I could make a Hellcorder rack where the bottom part has a lot of room for, not only bellows, but pyrotechnics, wheels, two-stroke engine. I mean, there are no limits. So I'll give it a week or two, I think, before I start building anything.
So I suggested balloons, and Michelle came up with one better tonight and said whoopee cushions. I mean, that's got to suit the Hellcorder, hasn't it?
That's nice.
I mean, the self-inflatable ones, that's...
Yeah.
And just have a cam system pushing down on whoopee
Needs
cushions.
to be a foot-shaped thing or something that just treads it down each time.
That could be a separate instrument in itself, actually.
How do you tune a whoopee cushion?
A bit of super glue and the and nozzly bit, I would imagine.
Oh, my brain don't need that as well.
It could work, or just have some kind of clamps on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe 3D print a special clamp with just different.
No, forget you ever heard that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the very, very far back burner. Yeah. But I like
you could operate them off a cam, couldn't you?
Yeah, it should work.
Yeah.
Just have something with a really high torque, slow speed that you're able to do it, so you can get a slow pace. Or
I think I have one of those motors. I just took one off an oscillating fan.
Yeah, that should work perfectly. They're quietish.
Yeah,
not the fan, but the motor turning it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't need to be dead silent. I mean, it's going to operate recorders, so there's going to be noise.
Oh, you're still talking recorders. I'm onto the whoopee cushion music making machine now.
Yeah, it's okay, but still, yeah, there's going to be noise. So if the engine is a bit...
not two-stroke engine, so...
Yeah. Two-stroke whoopee cushion.
Yeah. That was a really fun brainstorm.
That was a
but it seemed like both of your videos seems like the first in a long series, because that the Ikea Råskog hack video.
Yeah,
That was just for the title, wasn't it? Just IKEA videos do good, don't they?
Yeah, I got something IKEA, and I could make this into videos just to see if I can milk the brand. Yeah.
All right, IKEA hacks. That's a classic. So
All right, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here because I 3D printed the holders and mounted it, and have been using it actually for a couple of weeks. Then I realized, damn, this should be a video. So I took them off again, and I flipped it and I mounted it on the other side while filming it. So on the other side, it has some holes.
Brilliant.
And then it got me thinking, what more can I do? I should fill those holes, but I mean, it need a cup holder, and I need a holder for my headphones, and then I just got the idea, how much crap can I pile on this? It's cost me 10 quid or something like that used. So, I mean, I can do whatever I want to it. So, yeah, whatever dumb idea I have, I'm going to do to it. And it's going to be a series.
I honestly thought when the video started and you're saying what changes can I make to this, I expected you to plump a 2-stroke engine on it.
You know, that's not out of the question, really. I mean, it has room for a 2-stroke engine. There might be other people in my household who might have some objections to a 2-stroke engine in the bedroom. So I have to be really good at and argumentative for it to exist. But
depends what it's powering.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking more to make a coffee maker into it, building your own, like with going from the different levels, having a water reservoir and something to heat it, and filters and that sort of thing. Look like a
Teasmade type thing.
Yeah, some kind of Professor Balthazar build to make yourself coffee in the morning.
All right, Professor Balthazar, that is...
I know what buttons to push.
that rang a bell. I need to Google that because I forgot, but I have some vague images. But the problem is, though, I got this trolley because my wife has one, and it's brilliant for storage the crap that you don't need while you're sleeping. So I need it for that. But when you said the 2-stroke engine, and of course anything IKEA on YouTube, it would have been cool mounting an engine to it and slapping some bigger wheels and just trying to straddle above it and ride it as so I I might need to get another one.
Yeah, or just make it remote controlled and have it deliver you drinks in the garden when you're sitting.
Yeah, and that is so. Is there other things IKEA that would be even cooler? I mean, they have a lot of things. They have chairs, beds. I mean, there is a lot
Stuffed
of things
animals.
You can 2-strokes. Yeah. A 2-stroke teddy bear. I mean, that's...
That sounds pretty cool.
2-stroke meatball firer.
Yeah.
2-stroke. Flamethrower hot dog cooker.
All the things that you just mentioned, I have the ingredients for.
It does seem like we're trying to distract Haavard from whatever it is he should be doing.
Yeah. But I'm not the only one who had a video out this week.
Did you get a video out, KJ?
No, but you did.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with that video. I finished editing it, I think on Friday or Saturday, and sent it off to Steve to get the soundtrack added. And honestly, I couldn't be happy with what he's done to it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think good.
I mean, there must have been something in Steve's drink when he was on the podcast, because he really went all out on music this week and last week. First on our podcast and now your video.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was a really good soundtrack. It was, I mean, that's the kind that you forget that it's there,
Yeah.
and then you realize that you've been listening to it. That sort of thing. It just blends into the background in a really.
Did you notice anything peculiar or funny right at the beginning of the video?
Nothing that. No.
So the video starts with me just strumming the fire extinguisher Strumstick.
Yeah.
Yep. So in reality, that's going plink, plonk, plink, plonk, plink all over the place. And I sent the video off to Steve, and he came back with me playing a perfect tune.
I thought it sounded a little bit too good, but I didn't want to say it. That's not half bad from Glenn.
I didn't even notice myself the first time I watched it.
My thinking was that Steve had just coached you, hold the hands like this, and just do it like this and make it work. No. Yeah, that's a really it was really good, well made, good one, Steve. You got me.
I sent him the video, and it was basically just machine sounds, me talking, and the plinky plonky of me strumming that first Strumstick. And he ripped that whole track off and then just put the music over the top of it, which is brilliant, but kind of sad because I can't reuse those songs now because they've got the machine noises in them as well.
Ah, yeah.
But at one stage when I'm soaring, he actually set the music to the tempo of the soaring and left us put the soaring in as part of the music. It's very clever.
Yeah, but I mean isn't that the way that Disney made their short movies in the before times, that they made the animations and then someone put an orchestra score to it? Yes. That's why they did it when someone goes up the stairs and that sort of thing. True. They actually made the music to fit the video, not the other way around. So it's nice. It works.
Yeah, really, really happy with it. Not so happy with the views so far, I've got to admit, but I've still got my fingers crossed. It's been a bit of a slow on that one.
Should give it a couple of days. I mean, all the videos that I have that have done like semi decently, it has taken a couple of days before they seem to. I'm not going to use the word skyrocket because it's just a minor bump in the graph before
maybe a bottle rocket
plunges to the inevitable death.
The first Strumstick video which I did, which is still going. It's done 49,000 views now. But that I think that did 150 or 200 views in the first week, and then just had a big crazy time for a couple of months. So,
I'll never understand how that works, but no one does.
Yeah,
I realized when watching that video that I enjoy seeing someone make an instrument, but I have no desire whatsoever to try and make a string instrument myself.
No,
it seems like a lot of hard work and
I think there are harder instruments to make, to be fair.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But even something as simple as a Strumstick, I don't feel like making because it seems hard in the wrong ways.
I've kind of always held luthiers like at the top, that's master carpentry level, and then now I see. I mean, Glenn is churning them out left and right. So I'm thinking. I mean, I haven't seen anyone doing it at that speed, and so I'm thinking. I mean, how hard can it be? And then, of course.
I think the Strumsticks are a little bit off how hard it is to build a guitar from scratch.
Or am I just portraying my total lack of, because to me they look the same. So, I mean, it's just 2 extra strings, three extra. I mean, there is no difference. You have a body, you have to have the neck thing and the bridge thing, and then if it's 4 or 6 strings, I mean, it doesn't add weeks to your work process, does it?
No.
I wonder what a proper trained luthier thinks of Strumsticks. Is that like the kindergarten version, or?
I have a couple of luthiers follow me, and a couple of luthiers that I follow who don't follow me back. I think I think when they see the new technique I've got for putting frets in them, I don't think they'd approve of that. Doing frets on the bandsaw, I don't think would be approved. But it's such a boring process to do them by hand. To speed it up somehow. And that's the thing, out of all the Strumsticks I've made, they've all been different, but the necks are always the same, so that's the same process. So that is a bit boring, that bit for me.
That was the thing that when I made 3 electric guitars I made for myself, and I carved the body, but the necks were like kits that they were built. You just shape them, and at some point I wanted to up my game, so I have a box somewhere with the tools of actually shaping and making a neck, but I just lost interest. And at that point I didn't have a proper workshop either, but now I could probably, but like, nah. It's like, I already have guitars. I don't need to make. I mean, I spent a lot more time making that kit than you did making that Strumstick from scratch. So I think that says more about me than anything else. So
there are a lot of guitar makers out there, so we don't need another one.
No. But it did accomplish another thing for me. It's won me the Scrapwood Build Off 2025.
It did.
Or at least the monthly February edition of it anyway.
Is that like
what is it? Is it not the same? I what?
Is that the quarterly finals or something like that? Or how should you view it?
And that'd be great, wouldn't it? If all the winners from each month then just get entered into the big competition at the end without having to do another build off. That'd be good.
Yeah, but that's what they do now in all the competition. Like in Eurovision as well, you have the pre-qualifying rounds, and you have to win or come second at least, and then you get a shot at the finals. And so maybe Tim actually has a plan for once.
Or you get points for every month that you win. And then who has you get double points for the actual month, and then who has most points when the year is ended. That's the real winner.
Yes, the Scrapwood Challenge needs to learn from Eurovision. I think it should be glammed up a bit. So if you're listening to this, Tim, you know what you got to do. Because we don't. I mean, we're just throwing out ideas here, and interpret them as you see fit.
No, you completely lost me there.
Go
on, KJ.
This is very much we're giving out free IDs podcast, left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Shit, we can't be bothered to do.
So, what have you been up to, KJ?
Not much, because life threw a curveball at us. Because last week my wife got a stroke, not a stroke of genius, the bad kind. But it was just a small the small one. But it was really scary, even so. So we were planning to have a nice vacation, but she spent that time in the hospital. And she was, it went over pretty quickly, so she was more or less back to normal. But, the doctors want to find out the reason for a thing like that. So that's why they kept her for 5 days, I think. And she was, going bored out of her mind, sitting more or less locked into a small room at the hospital, and then just they probing her with stuff and trying to figure out what was wrong. So that was a bit exhausting, that part, and just having to take care of the kids by myself. And with them not being in school either, that was like a 24/7 gig.
I think she's faked it. Well done, Sophie.
I
just need a few days away from KJ and the kids.
I did consider that, because I have said at some point, you should go away and do something just for you. You need a hobby. You need to do something. This was not what I meant. But she came home yesterday and got home to a lovely bouquet of flowers that you guys sent, which was a real surprise.
It was all Haavard, to be fair, that was, but I did know about it, but it was all Haavard.
Yeah, we were sure that the flowers were from her workplace. Then she opened it. Oh no, it's from the podcast guys, from your friends. And then the day after, flowers arrived from her workplace. So yeah, that's you. So you won the flower game.
Yay!
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And but I did wonder though, because I know that this Interflora works in mysterious ways, and I was kind of hoping that PostNord is not a part of their value chain, and it turns out it's not. So it's actually the local florist who gets assigned the task and delivers as well. So yeah, I'm very glad it came as as planned.
It stands to reason now you said the name, but I never realised that Interflora was international, because obviously it's here as well. But then the inter bit is for international, isn't it? When you think about it for more than 2 seconds.
It's always nice to watch someone realize something live. It's like turning on a light bulb. Oh.
You should watch me more often. It happens a lot to me.
It's hard to see through the glasses.
Yeah. But holy crap, that's quite the curveball.
Yeah. I mean, this was something I mean, if you plan for being ready for in like 20 years or something like that, not when you're 41. That's a bit early for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, she got to be the youngest and prettiest in the world, at least. With all the other people with one foot in the grave.
Genius. So if they got to the bottom of it, do they know why it happened?
They think they know, at least, because they found a hole in her heart.
Oh, wow. It's just getting better.
Yeah, and it sounds bad, but it's really not, as I've understood it, that a lot of people have it, because this is something that you have. It's between the different chambers. That's what it's called, of the heart. And they got some leakage between them, because as an infant, it's just a big hole, because the heart, it doesn't really care what it's doing apparently, but that it's supposed to fuse together when you're older, but it doesn't fuse together 100%. And a small hole is rather common apparently, but if it's too big, then stuff can slip through. As this is how I've understood it, that the heart, it takes in blood from the body, and then it shoves it into the lungs. And if something, a small piece of coagulated blood is taken from somewhere in the body, it's just stuffed in the lungs. And if it's trapped in the lungs, that's fine. I mean, if you lose like 0.1% of your lung capacity, who cares? It still works. And so it more or less the blood gets filtered through the lungs. But if you have a hole in your heart between the chambers, that little speck can go into the other part and get shoved out in the body. Right. And if you're unlucky, that gets shoved up in the brain. And there are some really tiny places where you don't want the blockage. And that's when you get one kind of stroke, because there are a lot of kinds. So that's...
Yeah, crikey.
Then we can cross our fingers that it is that, because the holes are operable. They...
Yeah. There are some very smart doctors looking into it at the moment, if and how and what they should do. And considering that they couldn't find anything else wrong with her, it felt like kind of like the doctors were just failing and failing, because every test they did, it came back with her acing it.
One of the few instances where you really don't want to ace your test.
Exactly. Yeah, so hopefully everything will turn out good in the end. But at the moment, my free time has been limited to like between 9 o'clock in the evening until bedtime, feeling a bit exhausted and not getting anything done.
Right.
So yeah, it's that kind of month.
Excuses.
Well, I did try. I succeeded in the end fixing one of the youngest kids' boots wearing, because it came apart. So I thought I would glue it together. And first, I tried using what I consider to be cobbler's glue. I would say something that you fix shoes with regularly.
Okay.
So I just put that in and clamped it together, but it came apart. Okay, I'll try to do a better job with sanding it, doing real good prep work, and did it again. Didn't help. Okay, fine. Then I will go with contact cement. Try that, doing it as good as I could. It didn't work. So, but the third glue, that actually seemed to stick. I don't know why. But apparently I'm really bad at gluing stuff together, it feels like.
I've glued Lily's black school shoes together in the past with black super glue, black CA glue. That's worked pretty well, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I didn't, because if this one hadn't worked, it would be either glue gun or super glue. I don't know which one I would pick first, but just douse it in a lot of hot glue. That might have worked, or melted the boot.
I super glue more and more things together as time goes on. It's so quick.
I mean, after I got the super glue with the activator, yes, that is. Yeah, let's super glue it and see what happens. If it breaks again, you can always glue it another time. So.
I love that the activator makes all the difference, isn't it? Because, I mean, super glue, if you get the right compression on it, I mean, it sets within 30 seconds anyway.
Yeah, because that's the thing, though. I mean, first I started using super glue. It's like, this is amazing. You have to just squeeze it for like half a minute, and then it sets. It's brilliant. And today it's like, oh, I can't be bothered. This takes an eternity. So I need this little spray. Now it's 5 seconds. Oh, I got 25 seconds now to doom scroll on my phone.
I blame shorts and reels for this mentality in us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could very much be the YouTube thing.
But this is not glue related, but my kids, they have a Princess Anna lightsaber wand something.
Princess Anna lightsaber one.
Yeah, with disco lights and whatever. And
Obi-Wan Princess Anna.
Yeah, very much so. And it's brilliant, and it's got a lot of use, and now it ran out of batteries. And of course, for their birthdays last year, we got them proper but pink toolkits. And now the oldest just went to a room, got her toolkit, got the right screwdriver, and just opened that little screw that keeps the lid on for some reason, because we need that now, and just yanked out the batteries. And all I had to do was provide 3 new ones and just teach her that the flat bit goes towards the spring or the minus sign, and then she put everything back together. And like, yeah, that's some proper hacking there.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was a really proud moment, actually.
Who was proudest, you or her?
I think she had a more like casual approach to it, but then she saw like me standing there glowing up like dad of the year, and like, ooh, I did something good, didn't I? And she just glowed up as well. So we had a moment.
Nice.
Bought them ice cream and candy, and I just
you have to buy them one of the electric precision screwdrivers. They'll be fixing everything themselves then.
Exactly.
Taking a lot of things apart as well.
Yeah.
Just practice on mommy's stuff, and then
You know, mommy's got a new hair dryer. Try that.
That Dyson stuff's really hard to take apart, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. But I did actually try it yesterday when I was drying.
Did it dry your hair quick?
Yeah, very quick. Of course, I was using it on the youngest because she can't be bothered standing still, so I could use that one and just follow her. And then I realized I could probably use this for something cool, but I'm not sure my wife would approve if I. But that was amazing, though. The two-stroke coffee grinder that exploded. The grinder, of course, my wife has one. But I bought a cheap knockoff and used it in the video, but she didn't know that. So when she saw the video, it's like, oh, there went my exclusive hand crank coffee grinder. And she actually did not get pissed about it. So I like, but I mean, if it was mine and you blew it up, I would be kind of miffed enough to just at least come with a snarky remark. But no, she didn't. And like, when she realized, oh, that wasn't mine. No, yours in the cupboard as it's always been. Oh.
So you won Husband of the Year by not destroying her stuff.
First I won Dad
She
of the
has
Year,
really
and then
low
I
bar
won,
set for you.
I mean, Husband of the Year, that's a low-hanging fruit, isn't it? Oh, you didn't break something? Hooray! Here's your prize. Ooh, talking about prices. Making a knockoff Oscar? But I'm guessing you can probably buy those online. Someone probably 3D print those.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of files.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of boring. Just you want to do a tweak to it.
Who are you going to give it to?
Give him a boner, you think?
You could do that.
So somewhere to put your keys.
I mean, we're all filmmakers here. So, what category would you put your videos? I mean, best score. I mean, we don't have a chance against you. I mean, Steve's gonna take that every time. It's just the three of us.
You should print 3 off. We should have an award ceremony each year where we all win one for something stupid.
Then we just have to make a category that we would fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
who gets the dumbest video of the year and that sort of thing.
Fewest views for best project.
Yeah.
We could.
Hey, what about
we could ask Mike Maker Central if we could like have 5 minutes on stage because we would like to give out some prizes, and then yeah, sure, that's a great idea. And then it turns out that you just go on stage and give ourselves prizes and then walk off again.
Everyone would love us.
Oh yeah.
You should do one for most views for most boring project, because my watch battery video is climbing quite nicely still.
But that's the sad part, that the bad projects, a bad video, I mean, not bad, I mean, boring, as you say, are doing. But I mean, that's I lose hope or lose faith in humanity when I see that.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could get an Oscar statue for €4. And that's with free shipping. So yeah, it kind of lost its exclusivity. I'm not gonna,
But I could engrave a plaque on the bottom with the title for the prize, such as dumbest video or whatever.
But I mean, your idea with having a key holder, a key ring holder, so to say, just having it a movable thing that could with a sensor that if you come close to it, it will raise a peg to put something on. That might be it. But you're not into programming, so
no, that's that sounds like too much electronics and code.
Have you heard of DeArrow? A web plugin that is a plugin for YouTube that is designed to remove clickbaity thumbnails and titles. That's why the name is DeArrow, so remove arrows, because the person who made it apparently hates clickbaity titles with the I mean, the classic surprised face or
Yeah.
arrows pointing and that sort of thing, and titles that don't describe what the video is actually about. So with that plugin, it instead of having the thumbnail that the video has, it takes it either you can vote for what image is best. You have to take a frame from the video.
Yeah.
So any frame it would be, and then the title is more or less a factual description of Glenn is making a strumstick out of a piece of wood instead of whatever you've
Right.
typed.
Does it turn it like that for the whole of YouTube or just for yourself?
For the whole of YouTube, I mean
wow.
for you, but it's.
That's
I think
fantastic.
it has to be rather big channels, and I don't know how it flags if something is clickbaity or not. I mean, I haven't.
Every other title.
Yeah, it seems weird, so I didn't want to install the plugin, and the person behind it seems like maybe a bit unwell. Who knows? But it was an interesting thing, I think, just to hate clickbait that much that you actually make plugin to remove it. That's a bit. It's a bit much, I think.
You know, I totally understand that, and I had an idea, and this was many years ago. It was still while we were watching, what's it called? Linear television.
Yeah.
Because I realized that every time there was an ad, the volume went up. So what if you had a box connected to the audio output on your television, and every time the audio increased rapidly by more than 5 to 6% over 2 seconds, then it just switched the channel because then it's ad. But then I realized, well, when I started to getting more and more channels, they have the same slots, and at least the television channels owned by the same syndicate or whatever they call it. I mean, if you switch to another channel, well, it's ads there as well. And then the project stranded on, when you're switching a channel, how can you make the box realize that it's in a commercial and not a television program? So once it's switched away, when does it know, and how do you get it to switch back again? And this was way before Arduino, so it was going to be a very rudimentary box, activating a servo, pressing the remote control or something like that. But today you could probably do all of that in software. But
yeah, I mean, now they have like ad blocker and what's the other one called, when it actually skips in YouTube videos when there's a sponsored segment as well. There's some kind of plugin for that. I mean, some people are just mad.
I honestly don't mind adverts, especially on TV. It gives you a chance to go and get a drink or whatever anyway, or nip to the loo. But it's the podcast adverts I don't mind either, but the volume changes on those as well now, which drives me nuts. It's not pleasant to listen to because I can't always alter the volume on when I'm listening, because I'm either cutting a lawn or cutting a hedge, or my hands are full, and as if I'm operating machines, you can't just stop and alter the volume of things. It drives you absolutely nuts on those. So.
That can be a bit screamy. I mean, it's really nice when you listen to, for me at least, I listen to a lot of Australian podcasts for some reason, and it doesn't seem like Swedish things want to put ads in those, because we very seldom get an actual mid-episode when they have an ad break with a jingle and everything, but nothing comes on because no one bought that spot, because apparently an Australian podcast is not something a Swedish brand is looking at for monetization. So
then the question is, I mean, if there are blank spots, how less or how little do you need to pay to get those spots? I mean, should we play along with the thought of advertising ourselves and
yes.
like for a couple of dollars, if they can we can just throw you in any open blank space that no one else bothered to pay for. Yeah, sure, do it.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that a part of the theory that podcasts ads doesn't really work, and less people are paying for them because there are mostly just ads for other podcasts. Oh, you listen to this podcast? Come listen to my podcast instead. Listen to my podcast.
There's a lot of podcast groups, isn't there, like Wondery and Acast and stuff like that, and they advertise their own, don't they, quite a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, they sure do, and I think KJ is onto something here. I mean, probably a lot of the people who, and by a lot, I'm exaggerating here for comedic effect, the people who are listening to our podcast is at some level involved in another podcast. So it's a growing community, but it is growing within itself. So at one point, you're just making podcasts for other podcasts. So it's...
Yeah, it's podcast all the way down. Just like the turtles.
Yeah. On that note, I will end this episode with this ad segment from Couldn't Be Bothered More.
It's Strumstick Steel.
Yeah.
It's always Strumstick Steel. If only he had something to sell, that's a different problem.
Yeah, but then again, if you're planning on starting a podcast and need a jingle, we can hook you up with Drumstick Steve. Just give us a call for $9.99 a month. You get the full subscription and YouTube package.
Can we pimp up Steve? Second-handly.
We only have to pay him 10% as well.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, and his wife 80. So.
Yeah, I forgot about that bit.
Damn it. He has a representation already. Damn it.
All
that's
right.
good.
So, hit us up. Bye.
Bye.